All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday Morning Live. Welcome to Friday Morning Live, Day Trading Live, where we do pre-market analysis and do some live trading. My name is Clinton, and this is my channel, Blackwing Trading. So I want to jump directly into the charts on this Good Friday morning. August 1st, there's a new month, and some new possibilities for making money in the markets. So you can see I'm up now on the 4-hour calendar on Thinkorswim, just to see the big picture of the trading scene. There's a lot of things that have happened in the past couple of weeks since we've been on. So I want to talk through some of those things and, kind of set us up for today. So the first thing I want to look at some of the news. And so there's been a lot of news over the past couple of weeks, especially this week. The biggest thing that started this week was the Fed decision. The Federal Open Market Committee, the Federal Reserve chairs made their decision what they were going to do about the interest rate. And so they kept the interest rates the same. They didn't change the interest rates. And so we can see that from about 2 days ago, see what happened. The market took a little dip after that because the rates didn't change. That happened on Wednesday. Until then, you can see that the market had been running up and making all-time highs pretty much every day. They had been hitting new territory, new price discovery, all-time highs, got up as high as 64, 68.5. But so that began to taper down when the Fed left the interest rate unchanged. And then after that, this week, and the next big story has been the earnings. And so the earnings for all companies, I told y'all before, this happens 4 times a year where companies, they put out their earnings numbers or what their profit has been or what their loss has been, and then they put out forward projection. And so earnings has been going on for about a couple of weeks now, but this week we had the big tech earnings. So, all your favorite companies, Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, Tesla, all these companies like this had their earnings. Well, Tesla not this week, but all these big companies had their earnings. And so a lot of them were good, like Meta and Microsoft. Microsoft skyrocketed. They had amazing earnings from AI kickback from, using Microsoft Word and Copilot, and how much people have been using, how much had been integrated into their Microsoft software, and how much money they had made off of it. And so Tesla, Microsoft earnings were great. And then Meta's is the same way. Theirs were high. Apple, they were okay, not bad. They are up today. They had their earnings last night. Amazon had their earnings last night as well, and they took a hit. And so it just kind of depends with the earnings scene, but a lot of that has been driving the market. But one of the things you saw is that the market actually took a big downturn on yesterday. And that was in preparation for the earnings and also for a couple of other things. So I talked about the Fed didn't move their interest rates. And then the third big story was the core PCE, personal consumption expenditures. That's what the Fed, their preferred gauge, or what they like to look at when they want to determine if where we're sitting at in inflation and everything else. And so the PCE went up to 2.8. And it was the highest, steepest increase that it's had in the past like 2 years or something like that. And so the Fed is looking at that, and the market is looking at as well, as that, inflation is still steadily creeping up in the background. And, a lot of that is attributed to some of the effects of tariffs and things like that. But it's been steadily increasing in the background, the cost of goods and services. And sooner or later, companies are going to start passing the cost of tariffs onto the consumer, which is you and I. And so that's happening in the background, and that's caused things kind of to tick up. And then this morning, the most recent thing that's happened is the U.S. Everybody was waiting for the employment report. And so the employment report comes out and it tells how many jobs have been added to the market. So you can get a gauge of whether, we have a strong job market or we have a weak job market. And so this week, we only added 73,000 jobs, which is a disappointing number. The estimate was supposed to be somewhere around 104,000 jobs. And so we missed by like 30,000. And so you can see now, if we look back to the chart, the market has been dropping this morning. It dropped yesterday, dropped overnight, and then now it's actually been dropping this morning as well, because You know, if the analysts put out an estimate and then we miss it, then the market usually doesn't like that. So, you know, we go out, we're at the 4 hour right now, so we can see kind of like where we're at. But if we go, you know, in a little bit closer, we go to the 30-minute, you can begin to see some more clear price action for this morning. You can see this is overnight. The market, you know, began to take a dip last night, and then it hovered around this level, which is 63.10, and then now it's actually below that. So that leads me into those key levels. So now I want to talk about the key levels that we need to be looking at today. So we were as high as 64.68, you know, just, you know, a day or so ago, hitting all-time highs. And now the market is really taking a big hit and falling, a little correction. People are taking profits and taking that off the table, and now it's taking a fall down. And so key levels to look at right now, starting from the bottom and working your way up. 6,300 is a key level. It got as low as 62.95 yesterday, 62.95. Well, overnight, it got as low as 62.95. And so it hasn't been in that area for about a week or so. And so it kind of fell back to the 6,300 level. And that's a key level right now to see if the market is going to pivot above or below it. You know, like always, we wait for the market to tell us what it's going to do. We don't, you know, make any guesses or assumptions, but we do pay attention to these levels. And so 6,300 is a key level you can see here. Then you have a supply zone, which is at 63.10. So you can see there was a lot of trading overnight in the 63.10 area, between 63.10 and 63.15. And so you can see that there was a lot of trading there. So that's a key level I want to look at. And then the 63.30, when the market kept falling and coming back, it fell down to like the 63.30, tried to pop back up there again, touched that again this morning. And so that's now becoming like a resistance level since the market has fell below that. So 63.30 is a level. So that's probably like the top three levels that I want to look at. 6,300, you know, 63.10, 63.30. Those are levels that I'm looking at. And obviously could go above that. You know, you got this 63.57, which was a previous high from like 2 weeks ago. So the market recognized that. You can see that when it fell back, it was hovering around that area for a little bit, and then it broke below it. And so we can look at those levels. But another areas I want to look at is the areas below that. So if it falls below 6,300, then, you know, we got to start looking at, you know, some levels below that. So I'm going to take this out to the 1 day chart a little bit so we can see that the data chart. So if I was below 6,300, 62.90 is another area that I have. And then 62.70 is a supply zone. So 62.90 is an area that it may pivot at that it touched before. And then, like I say, the next level is 62.70 to 62.75. If it falls below 6,300, it could fall as low as 62.70. And so that's an area that I'd be looking at if the market begins to fall. So 62.70, that's a key level. And we already talked about the ones above that. So we pay attention to levels because the market trades around levels all the time. And it's cool to keep it. I keep these levels on my chart for days like this. If the market falls, you know, I can see these previous levels that the market traded at, and then, you know, we can kind of plan accordingly. So I'm going to take this in a little bit closer. We're going to go ahead to the 5-minute chart. And so we can kind of see we're set up. We got about 4 minutes before the market opens. So we're just kind of waiting here to see what we got. But from the jobs report, we initially had a dip, and then it went up, and then now it's trading down. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen at 6,300, and then at the open too. It's probably going to try to find its footing, and then we'll see if it goes up or goes down. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about, you know, as far as the news and stuff like that is affecting the market. Today is August 1st. So this is the 90-day deadline that was pushed by President Trump for the tariffs. Now he's already extended another 90 days, and that's Mexico. He was working a trade deal with Mexico. And yesterday they extended it for another 90 days. But the news came in that he extended the he extended the tariffs for another 90 days on Mexico, but he actually raised the tariffs on Canada to like 35%. And so, that's something that also contributed to the market falling. Nabi, I see you. Good morning. Nabi and Miss Cora, thank you for jumping on. Thank y'all for letting me know you're on. Good morning. But there's another thing that happened that kind of is affecting the market. And so, all those things contribute to how the market is trading and things like that. So you pay attention to it just so we know kind of what's affecting the market. That way it makes you a smarter trader. So I talk about these things in the morning. But we're going to sit here and kind of look at these levels and see what happens on these levels for the open. One thing I'm going to be doing, I want to announce here on the live stream, and then I'm going to put it out, is that I'm going to start going live pretty much every day in August. Instead of just on Fridays, it's going to be going live every day, just so we can get a better picture of trading every day. And I'm trying to build a channel to get more input. And so I'm going to start going live every day. That helps the algorithm. Maybe I hope everything is going well at Catholic Charities. Hope you're doing well over there and everybody's doing well. Miss Cora, I hope your vacation was pretty good. I know last time you said you was on vacation, so I hope that went well. Good morning, Mary Ellen. Good morning. Thank you for jumping on. Hope everything is going well with you as well over at Catholic Charities. Hope it's not a madhouse over there and everything is going okay. All right, I could use y'all feedback on one thing. I have been, if you've been paying attention, I have been redesigning how the live looks to try to make it look like, more presentable so it works for y'all and everything looks good. I've changed the setup. I want to get your feedback. Hopefully you can see my trading screen a little bit better. So this is where I do my pre-market analysis all on Thinkorswim. Hopefully you can see this on your phones a little bit better. I had to optimize this to be better on the phone. So hopefully you can see it and it's not too small, but I could use your feedback for that. And then this is my normal trading screen as well. I did redesign this so you can see the trades a little bit better. I took some trades this morning already, so you can see I'm already up $549. So, I'm looking to take a trade to increase that, but I'm already up from this morning. But hopefully you can see my screen a little bit better like this. Give me some feedback in the chat to let me know if these screens look good to you, if it's too small or it's not big enough or it's too big or whatever else. Give me some feedback in the chat so we can see that. But I've been redesigning to try to make things look a little bit better. All right, and that is the market open. So we know that we do the 15-minute opening range break. That's my strategy, the 15-minute opening range break. And so, we let it trade and do what it's going to do. And then after 15 minutes, then that's when we go back to, we look and see which direction is going to go. The open range break is a real simple strategy that anybody can do. I do it on here, one, because it helps me be more consistent. But then two, my goal for this channel is to show you that you can trade. And I'm going to show you that by showing you a simple strategy that you can use day to day. The 15-minute strategy, 15-minute open range break is a strategy. Like I say, it's not very difficult at all. Most people can pick it up really quick. And then as long as you execute it well, that's the key thing, right? You can know a strategy, but as long as you execute it well, you see there's a lot of selling at the beginning. We can see these initial candles are definitely selling down. Big selling volume. It may be a little where you can't see it on my chart. You can see this shaded area right here. I do these bars down here at the bottom. This is just something for Thinkorswim. I do overlapping volume, and I do it for this reason. So you can see that this volume candle is way up here, even above the candle That lets me know that there's a lot of selling volume, right? So volume is very important in trading. How many shares are being traded back and forth. And so when I see this come in, that lets me know that, hey, there's a lot of selling right there. Or if it was green, it let me know there's a lot of buying right there. So that's why I overlap mine. You can make it to where it's down here at the bottom, but I've just noticed that if it's on the bottom for me, it's kind of a little bit out of my scan because I'm looking at the candles. Some people may not like it overlapping like this because you can kind of blend in the color. You can see it. So it almost looks like, hey, you can't see that there. But for me, like I said, this is just for me. I like to see it like that so I can see the volume coming in and lets me know that, hey, it's selling right there. All right, there you go. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I try to make it a little bit bigger to optimize for the phone because most people are looking at YouTube on their phone. But I can make it a little bit bigger, and then for my execution screen, go back into the execution screen. It's hard for me to make that any bigger, like these numbers and stuff like that. That's kind of as much as I can get. Hopefully you can see it though. You can see the levels I'm going in. You can see where I'm executing the trades over here. I'm executing the trades over here on the right hand side on the depth of market. But hopefully you can see these levels on the side as well. Thanks for the feedback. So it broke below 6,300. So we'll see what the next candle does. But if it keeps going down, remember the levels that I told you, you got 62.90, which is getting real close to that right now. And it may bounce off of this or it may not. And then you go down to 62.70, that area. So we're just looking to see, what the market is going to do. That's a strong down candle. Go back to Thinkorswim for a minute, just so you can see these levels. So you can see it did bounce off of 62.90. So that's just showing you the power of these previous trading levels. Like this is a real thing. Price action. This is something that it took me, actually, to be honest with you, a couple of years to recognize, is that the market actually does trade at certain levels. And so when you plot out these levels where it's traded at and seeing where it's touched before, it may still fall through that, but at least you saw that, okay, all right, now that was a level that it recognized. So right now, it's bouncing off. It's hitting 62.90, and then you have some buy-in, and then it comes back up a little bit. Then it's coming back down. You can see that in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. So you can see now there's that second candle. And we're going to see if it goes up or if it goes down. If you jump on, let me know you're in the chat. Just say hello. I'm here in the chat. I love to get some interaction with you. Just let me know you're in the chat.
You know a safe-ish home security solution when you see one. The kind of stuff that seems like it works, but doesn't. The key under your wall.
All right. You had to turn that off for a minute. I use free music for trading on Spotify, and they play commercials. And so I don't want to listen to the commercials while we're trading. All right, it's falling below that 62.90 area. So that's taking some dip down. Now, I do a 15-minute opening range break, but you can shorten those time frames if you want to. Like you can do a 5-minute opening range break. So for instance, if you did a 5-minute opening range break, you would just take this first candle, and then that would be your range. And then once it goes definitively below it or above it, you could take a trade. You can do a 30-minute opening range. You know, it all depends. There's a lot of flexibility there. I've noticed that I've been waiting a little bit longer just because there's been some more volatility and sometimes it's not coming out of that range. And so, you know, you draw the range out, you know, whether 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. And then, you know, the key thing is to execute it right? To keep yourself honest on those parameters, which is, okay, if it breaks above, I take the trade. It breaks below, I take the trade. And then one thing that I do is that I do a 5-minute confirmation candle. So I want to, after it breaks that range, I like to see a 5-minute confirmation candle that, hey, yeah, it's still going to keep going in that direction. And then I take the trade. Well, I can see it got down to 62.84. So it's definitely pulling back. All right, let's get that music back on. This strategy, now I trade futures on here and I like trading futures, but you can use this strategy for just about anything. You can use it for trading stocks. You can use it for trading, options. This 15-minute opening range break. It works, it works in any one of those trading styles. You know, it's a strategy that can work across different trading platforms. And so, if you want to start off with stocks, you can start off with stocks. Or if you want to, start off with something else, maybe you want to start off with options, you can use that as well. Like I said, I'm trading futures now. That's the way I like to trade futures. Sometimes I trade options, but I like to trade futures more than options. Yeah, it's kind of hesitating there about what it's going to do. All right, we're coming up on, it's like 8:39, so we're coming up on that second candle. Now I'm going to draw out the rectangle for the caution area after this second candle. Whew, it's going down. Okay, that says 62.82.5, and it's still going down. So let me draw out this cautionary rectangle. Wow, it's got down as far as 62.80. I'm just gonna put it right here for now, but it looks like it's gonna go well below that. So let me just kind of adjust this a little bit. I take it out to the end of the day, so 1500, so you can I can see it on the chart as the market continues to trade. All right. So that is a caution area. And I know it's kind of all blurred in with all that volume and everything else, but that is a volume, the trading area. So if it breaks below this, well below that, I take the trade. Or if it turns around and it goes above this, you take the trade. It's looking like this is going to be a down day. So you can see it's popping below it even right now. But the 15 minutes isn't up yet. So I'm going to readjust it at 8:45 and then we'll be looking to see what it's doing. Yeah, it's getting down to 62.70 area. That's 62.74. Probably gonna bounce off 62.70. If you're doing a 5-minute opening range break, this would be a great trade because this would have been your 5-minute confirmation candle and you could have went in and, you know, you could have still got a good move down. So, you know, I usually go for a long term because I like to see the 15-minute range break just because I like to take more price action trade throughout the day. But the key thing, the most important thing is to pick a strategy and perfect it for you, perfect it for you. When I first started trading, and then a lot of people have this story, I would jump from strategy to strategy to strategy, and I never would perfect anything. And the reason why I would jump from strategy to strategy to strategy is because, one, I would take a loss, and then I'm thinking, okay, well, this is not working. And, and then I move on to the next. And that's something that, trust me, if you start trading, you choose to start trading, that's something that everybody faces. One of the hardest things psychologically about trading is being able to take a loss, and you have to control your losses. And that's what we have risk to reward for. And I talk about that when I'm trading. I'm like, okay, I'm risking 100 to make 300, or I'm risking, 200 to make 400, or whatever it is, whatever my risk profile may be. Because you have to get to the point to where you say, listen, there is no strategy that's 100% in trading. Zero. Anybody who tells you that they can trade and they never take a loss, they are lying to you. I'm telling you, they're lying to you. So, but what we do is we find strategies that work for us, that we can develop edge in, that we can do well, and then we trade those strategies. And the key is to perfect that strategy and stick to those rules. And is you create your own guidelines. Yeah, you're right, now, but you create your own guidelines and you stick to them, right? And so that's what I'm doing. Like even right now, I could take that trade, but that's not what I'm doing. So let me adjust this rectangle, and I'm gonna take it down to 62.70 because that's about where it was at. But you can see it's even going down below that, So here's the rectangles at 62.70. And so now it's going down. And I'm going to watch this area though, because that was a key level. So it may dip below that, or it may dip slightly and then try to come back up, or it may just continue to go down. Now, if it continues to go down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the larger chart. I'm going to see what's the next level below 62.70, just like we did this morning. We saw what was below 6,300. It was 62.90. It was 62.70. Okay. And it's going through those levels now. So I'm going to look at that. But I got another line coming up my chart on 62.60. So actually that's the next level is like 62.60. But getting back to what we were talking about before, you create your rules, good trading rules, and you stick by those rules. And you'll get more consistency and make money far more than that, than jumping, and say, oh, this doesn't work, let me try this. This doesn't work, let me try this. Now, that's not to preclude you from trying different types of things, but you can't use you taking a loss as a signal that this something doesn't work. Sometimes you just take a loss because, you set up the strategy and everything and you do it perfectly and the market just moves in the opposite direction, and that's fine. And at other times there may be something that you're missing in the strategies you need to pay attention to. Maybe you're impatient. Maybe, you got in at the wrong time. Maybe you lost because you tried to hit a home run and you tried to make too big on the trade, So it's a bunch of different factors. And so the key thing is you pick one strategy, you stick with it, and then you perfect it and you continue to do it to get good at it. You can take one trading strategy and do that all the time and make money. You don't have to have 15 different trading strategies. The key thing is the most important things, and we're going to talk about that, is risk to reward, and making sure you stick by risk to reward. And by that, when we're talking about like your wins and your losses, so I'm talking and looking at the same time. See, it did kind of pop up a little bit back up into 62.70, and then it's kind of hesitating there. So I'm going to see what it's going to do. But you're going to lose in trading, but you want to make more always than you lose. And so that's the risk to reward. So when you set up a trade, you want to know when you're getting in and when you're getting out. You might say, okay, I'm risking 100, but I'm trying to make 300. That would be a 3-to-1 risk to reward. So, you're putting up to where, okay, I'm going to have a stop. And if it gets below $100, that's it, I'm done. But then I'm looking to make 300. So if you do that, you can actually lose more than you win, but you still can come out break even or even beyond that. So how does that math work? Now let's think about it. If you are risking 100 to make 300, you actually can lose 3 times and win once and be break even, right? Because if you win, you make $300. If you lose $100. So you can lose 3 times and win once and be break even. So think about, in 10 trades, if you have 10 trades or 9 or 10 trades, if you only win 3 times and you lose 6 times, you'll break even. And then that last trade, maybe if you make that a win, now you're $300 up. So now you lost 6 times, you won 4 times, but you're still up. And so that's what we do to make sure that we win consistently. The numbers add up. Is that you want to risk less than you look to make. And that's something that it causes, like your brain has to get adjusted to that, okay, yeah, I may lose once or I may lose twice, 3 times on this strategy, but then when I win 3 times more. So this is going on. So maybe I win 5 times more. Sometimes I'm risking 1 to make, to make 5, or I'm risking 1 to make 6. Sometimes the trade works well and I risk 1 to make 10, and so it all depends, but that's what you want to master in risk to reward. You always want to know what you're risking, and then you want to make a multiple of what you're risking. All right, so it's bouncing off 62.70 now, and we're still in this 5-minute confirmation candle. If it continues to go down after this, I'm going to be comfortable with taking another trade, taking a trade to the downside. But I want to see what's below this. So let's go to the bigger chart. All right, so here's 62.60. That's where it's trading at now. And it looks like the next area is 62.30. So if it falls below this, 62.30 is the next area that it can trade down to. Because at 62.60 now, and I have a line at 62.30, and I don't have hardly any price action there. Maybe 62.40, but we could take a trade going down like that.
I prefer English.
The Naked Gun is the most fun you can have in theaters.
Or it may bounce off this number, so we'll see what we got. It may want to bounce out 62.60. Now, if it bounces, I'm comfortable with taking a trade there, but this is what I do with this. If it bounces, like right here, if it's a green candle, I'm going to wait for another 5-minute green candle to take the upside, because sometimes what it'll do is it'll bounce one candle and then it could keep going down again. So I'm going to let it bounce and see what it's doing. Look like it's bouncing off 62.60. But I'm gonna go ahead and let it do that. And then if it goes up, I want to see a candle going. I want to see another candle going up. And then this may ride back all the way up into where it was at the open or something like that. So that'd be a nice trade. And this is all about patience, though. Like I say, that happened. Yeah, was there a trade to take here? Yeah, there was a trade to take here. Another one of the rules of trading that I want to get over to y'all that you got to know is that there are multiple times to make money in the market. The market is open from 8:30 to 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. So like there are multiple times, multiple setups to make, to make money, to have a good trade. You don't want to say, oh, I missed it and I can't make nothing. No, you may have missed an initial move for something that set you up even better. So don't get to the point to where you think, oh man, I missed it. Just sit back and look and see, because another setup may come for you and you can even make even more money off of that. It's hesitating at 62.60 right now. So it looks like we're finding a bottom. And I just want to repeat what I was saying before. Okay, if it's going to bounce off of this, bounce trade is a good trade because it could bounce all the way back up to like 63.10. And that'd be a great move up. But to be able to make sure that we're doing, that we're not getting caught, I want to see what this candle is going to be. If that green candle is up, if it's a green candle and it's up, it looks like it's pulling down now. So I don't know if it's going to keep going down to like 63, 62, 70, 40 or whatever. But if it bounces up, it's green, and then there's another green candle going up, then I'm comfortable to go long and try to ride it up, because that lets me know that the direction has reversed and it's bounced off that level. If not, it could, we might have got happy and say, okay, it's about to bounce up, and I jump in too early. It could turn around and just continue to go down to where it's going to go down at. But you can see it took a pretty big move down, and it's hovering 62.60 area, up and down a couple of points either way. We're about to have another candle here in a little bit. So this is what you call a doji. Oh, that's a little green. Okay, so they bought some there. That was a doji candle. A doji candle, whereas it doesn't show anything up or down. That's the indecision candle. So that means that you have an equal number of buyers and sellers. Okay, so here's this green candle coming up. I think I'm going to go, actually, I'm going to go long here.
Order filled.
All right, so now let me go back to my, I'm going to go to my other trading screen so y'all can see it now. So I just entered a trade, and what I'm going to do is right here, I'm going to pull this to right here. So now I'm risking risking right about 282 so. Risking about 282 to make 400. And we'll see what we got there. I put it just below these candles there, just so if it goes below that, I know that I'm wrong. But I could be wrong. It might turn around and go down, or it might go up. Once it gets about halfway up, I'm gonna go ahead and move my thing here to break even. Oh. So it's hesitating, trying to find his footing up. But I am in the trade right now. Ooh, I don't like that. It may fool me. This thing may stop me out. Let's see what it does. Look like it's trying to go back up. Okay. No. Let's see what this next candle does. 9 o'clock candle, if it goes up or it goes down.
Order filled.
All right, so that stopped me up. Okay, so let me see what it does now. I may get back in down here. I want to see what it does now, though. If it tries to come back up or what. Because I'm thinking it's going to come back up. Just kind of got me right there at the bottom of that candle. Oh no, it went down. Okay. So that's why we have stop losses. Okay. And it went down pretty hard. Okay. All right, let me see. Maybe this thing is about to go down. I'm just trying to see if that candle was stable and out. I'm going to take a candle downside to the downside. Look like it wants to continue to go down. All right, it's going down now. Since I did lose one, I want to go ahead. Oh yeah, it's going down real good. All right, I'm bringing my stop to break even. Look like it wants to continue to go down. I'm trying to bring my stop down, but it keeps, okay, there we go, there we go. There we go. All right, stop is at 225. Come on, baby. I'm gonna move this up a little bit.
Order filled.
All right, so got filled in on the pull up, on the pull back, and I made 225 on that trade. 225 on that trade. So basically, almost as even out what I just did right there. So I'm gonna wait and see. I may go in for another trade right here to see what it does, but you can see it's pulling up pretty hard, and so that's why I moved my stop down to like 225, just so I know I can make that if it pulls back hard. So what it is doing now is pulling back pretty hard, and I don't know if it's going to go up all the way up and turn around, or if it's going to, you know, what it's going to do. So why it's doing this still in this candle, this 5-minute candle, I'm gonna see what the trend is going to be. But we can see that it went down pretty hard, and then now it's coming back up. Whoa. Yeah, so it's jumping pretty hard now. It may actually even turn around. I'm just gonna look and see what it does. Let me go back to my Thinkorswim screen. Yeah, it may keep going down. I don't know.
Texas summers can go on, but with Ultimate Season Pass from TXU Energy, you get 50%.
Let's cut those advertisements for TXU Energy. Now, same thing applies here. Okay, we let that candle go. Now we got a green candle happening now. Now a red candle just turned from green to red. So I want to see what it's going to do. I pretty much even out that other candle, the other trade that I had. So mine is about $25 when it popped back on me. Yeah, I'm wondering, is it trying to do a reversal or something right now? Get that music back on. When you see these wicks like this, when it goes down and they hurry up and buy it back up, that means that you hit a level, and this is computer trading. You hit a level and then they bought up at that level, and then now you can see maybe that from that point on, now the selling is over with, and then they want to start reversing the trend. Like I said, I would love for a bounce up off this level. That would be great. I'm trying to see what it's going to do though. I don't feel comfortable going short right now just because you've had these big wicks right here where it went down and came back up, and now it's going to go down, but I'm going to see if it's going to come back up again. So I don't know if it's going to continue that trend down. And plus, I mean, it's been trending down all morning, you know, for the past 30 minutes or so. At some point, the trend changes a little bit. Well, it's pulling down pretty hard now. $62.50 is a good range. Looks like it's responding to that $62.50, even though it dipped down well below that. $62.50 seems like where it's maybe trying to pivot off of. Okay. And I'm just trying to see if I can jump in on another trade. I'm looking for a 5-minute confirmation candle after a green candle. I mean, say like this candle that we got going on now, the current candle is green. If it closes out green in the next 20 seconds, then I'm gonna see if there's another candle after that that's going up, and then that lets me know it's about to be in an uptrend.
Order filled.
All right, so I am in the trade. Let me go to my screen. You can see it is coming up. So I have my wrist down here at about 250. It's been definitely kind of, oh yeah, baby. I want to push the break even now. Yeah, because I don't want it to turn around on me like it did on that previous trade. And it keeps look like it's trying to go up, but hasn't got there yet. But I don't want to hit it prematurely either. I'm going to bring this thing up. So just as soon as it clears at 200, if it clears 200, I'm going to go ahead and put my stop at 200. Come on, baby. Keep going, keep going. All right. Stop is at 200 now, so I'll make 200 from this trade regardless if it keeps going up or not. But the goal is to make 400. Oh, okay. Boom. And that's a $400 trade. Thank you very much. All right. So, all right, I'm about, that's going to probably be it for me for the day. So I'm up $916 as you can see up here. Had a couple of successful trades this morning, but one goes against me and then two work for me. So that's really all I need for the day. You know, that's a little bit more than I want to take anyway, but that was like about 4 trades a day, 4 or 5 trades a day. But so hopefully you can see the principles of what I was talking about. We took it down and then we moved the stop, because you want to make sure that once it moves in your direction, the worst feeling is a trade is working in your direction and then it goes against you. And you're like, I was winning, but now I'm losing. And so I like to move my stop down to about whatever I'm risking. So if I was risking 200, I like to move it up to 200 and then let it keep moving. But it's a tricky thing because you can see that the candle is moving back and forth. And so you want to get it a little breathing room. So if it wants to continue to move forward, it can, just like we did on the last trade. So I moved it up to 200. And then once it was popping 275, 300, I went ahead and moved it to 200. And then it popped up through 400, which was the goal. So there we go. And a perfect example of risk to reward. So I was risking 250 on the first trade. I lost 250. I moved my risk up to 225 on the second trade. You know, I got stopped out at 225. But this trade, I risked same thing, risked 250, but I made 400. And so now you can see how, even though you may lose on a trade, if you are doing proper risk to reward where you're making more than you're losing, you put yourself forward. And so we end the day at $916. And so that's a great thing. I'm not mad at that at all. It's probably going to trend up, if I would guess, so I'm going to probably punch out of here, but it's probably going to trend up and keep going up a little bit. So let me move over back to the Think and Swim chart. I can see it probably anchoring and getting above 62.70 and then trading up even a little bit higher, maybe even up to VWAP or so. You can see it's about to start trading up now. It's about to start trading up now. Once it makes the 9 EMA, that's a good thing, unless you know that, hey, it's about to start making its way up. But it could continue to go up, make VWAP, or maybe bounce off VWAP and go up or down. You never know what it's going to be, but you let the market let you know what it's going to do. But it is hitting this caution area right now, which is a pretty big range that we drew out from the 15-minute open range break. So that's all I have. If y'all got any questions in the comments, let me know if you got any questions in the comments about what we got going on or anything. I am going to start going live every day, so it won't just be on Friday. So if you want to pop in on me, it'll be the same time, same channel, 8:15 in the mornings, Monday through Friday, all of the month of August. And we're going live just to try to build a channel and then let you see my trades every day. And then I'm going to pick up those classes. I know I was supposed to teach a class. I just kind of got busy with grandkids and grandparents duty and all that other stuff. The kids are here with me in the summertime, so we had some things we had to do. I had a class that I had to go to. So, but I am back on the grind now. So I will start continuing to teach those classes, and you'll see it on my channel where you can start seeing the rest of those futures trading 101 channels. Because my goal is to get you from beginner, if you're a beginner, all the way to taking your first trade. And so that's what I want to do, is just to kind of show you these things. But until we meet again, I thank you so much for jumping on this live. Thank you for your interaction. Please recommend this to somebody. Share it when I put it on my Facebook. If you're Facebook friends with me, share it, on your Facebook channel so people can jump on. I'm doing this for free. I want to show people how to trade. Regular people can augment their salary. Maybe you keep your regular day job and you make, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 on the side doing this a year in addition to your job. It is very doable, very doable. I was doing some numbers, and I'm going to say this before I get off. If you average $200 a day trade, say you trade every day like we're doing now, but you only average $200. I made $900 today. Now, tomorrow I may lose 200 or 500, and then or whatever. But if you average $200 a day, which is basically $1,000 a week trading, very doable to average $200 a day trading, average. That's $52,000 a year. Think about that. That may be, I don't know where y'all sitting at in salary. That may be half your salary. That may be more than your salary. That may be a quarter or some percentage of your salary. But imagine if you can sit down and maybe you got time in the morning, maybe you got time in the afternoon, and you can just make $200 a day, average $200 a day, $1,000 a week. You can make $52,000 a year trading. I mean, I don't know about you, but I can use an extra $52,000. And so just think about the power of trading. And like I say, it's an ultimate side hustle if you want it to be a side hustle. Or it can just be, hey, you might get to the point to where this is what you do. And you make a lot of money doing it. It's the sky is the limit in trading. So God has been very good to me. I've been trading for a few years and, it's definitely haven't been easy. But now I'm at the point to where this can start generating income from me and decent income. And so I want to show you this for free so that you can begin to start this journey as well. And it's a skill that once you have, nobody can take it away from you. So until we meet again, thank you once again for jumping on this channel. And I will see you on Monday if you will be on with me.